What's that noise?
Why do you always laugh when you answer the phone? You sound mental, like. Oh, hello.
I do get a bit like the show character fucking Rolly Birkin when I'm pissed.
How pissed
I do
are
get
you?
like that.
You don't sound pissed. I can never tell when people are pissed. Maybe it's because I'm pissed.
I'm in that stage where I'm fucking laughing when before I'm picking up the phone. No, because I see your little name, and then I just see your little head, and I'm just like, it's fucking absolute fucking idiot phoning here now. What does he fucking want now?
How sweet to be an idiot.
Indeed. Do you know? I was just thinking, we need Monty Python these days, don't we?
We need a lot of things. Let's not kill comedy.
We could do with them.
I love. Have you shown your boys Holy Grail yet?
No.
Oh mate, that's a big thing because I watched it with Chloe, but there was bits. It's weird when you watch movies with kids. I remember putting on The Goonies, right? Thinking, oh yeah, The Goonies. That's fucking like, you know, it's like for 8-year-olds or whatever. Watch it. The first few jokes in it are pretty hardcore. With him, like, there's some like sex jokes, some weird like jarring sex jokes at the beginning, and then the whole thing is fucking bizarre. Like, there's so much stuff that must have gone over our heads as kids. But the Goonies is fucked up. When I was at university, this is honestly true, this bloke I lived with called Ross, and he was from like Somerset.
All right.
Yeah, he did have the accent a little bit. He was lovely, actually. I missed the guy. But
Did he say, all right, my lover?
Yeah, he goes, all right. But like, he goes, when we were talking once, and he goes, you know that bloke from the Goonies? You know Sloth, who's clearly it's like he was a baseball player or something in prosthetics with an eye halfway up his forehead and ears that like moved. Do you remember him? The big bloke tied to a chair in the Goonies, the freak.
I've never seen the Goonies. Stop you there.
I've never seen the Goonies, mate. You'd love it. He's the
why?
You must have heard people go, "Hey, you guys."
No.
Oh, you are culturally irrelevant now.
When was it out?
Fucking 80s. It was an 80s movie, The Goonies. You must have seen it. You start watching it and you go, oh yeah, the thing about pirates and gold.
No, I've never seen it.
Well, this will go completely over your head, but I'm going to say this anyway for the bloody listeners. My friend Ross said, in all seriousness, there's a character in The Goonies who is a person in prosthetic makeup as a monster freak thing with an eye halfway up his forehead, right? And he said, in complete seriousness, he goes, yeah, that bloke in The Goonies, like, he was typecast by it because he was never in another movie. He was like, clearly, it's like saying that about Yoda.
Well, Chewbacca. Yeah, I know, you never see Chewbacca in anything else.
He was never in another movie. He was so typecast by that. But yeah, The Goonies, I tried watching that with kids, and it's like, oh, hang on, that's a bit weird and that's a bit dark. But Holy Grail was like the night scene where, you know, that Black Knight where he cuts his arms and legs off. That is proper funny to a kid, because unless they're like sensitive to, but even the blood's not very realistic. But the attitude of the Black Knight when he's like, right, we'll call it a draw, and like the stupid shit. You go, well, it's a scratch, it's a flesh wound. You go, your bloody arm's off. No, it isn't. Like, it's properly funny to a kid, because like denial in the face of clear evidence. No, it's not. Come on, you chicken. What are you gonna do? Bleed on me? All that stuff is fucking amazing. No one's making that sort of comedy anymore. Not I'm aware of.
No.
Just stupid but intelligent. Like, it used to make me laugh so much as I'm not even a kid. Like, I don't know how old I was, but when the bridge keeper,
as a fetus,
yeah,
before I was a child, it was funny.
Before I could speak, I knew this was funny. But when he goes, "What is your favourite colour?" and he goes, "Blue, no yellow," and dies because he got his own favourite colour wrong. It used to fucking cripple me. Like, that is so funny. But
I know.
oh, I love all that. Just stupid comedy, but like it's stupid clever. It's like, I don't know. It's like a lot of things,
but then they were big budget films then. But nobody would make those films now.
Nah. But what I think it's like, because they used to write in pairs or alone. So I think John Cleese wrote with Graham Chapman, and like so they'd write stuff and then bring it to like. So you've got like Michael Palin, John Cleese, Graham Chapman, the other lot, the Terrys, but like that's a lot of very funny people. Well, it's like the Beatles. Do you know what I mean? You got three musical geniuses and Ringo, and it's like, well, even that's not fair, is it? Because he's obviously good.
No.
But like, did he write his songs? He didn't, did he? He just performed them.
I think he might have wrote a couple of Beatles tracks.
Yeah, like when he's like under what was that? Octopus's Garden. Did he write that? No.
I don't think he might get a credit on it. I'm not sure. I think most of the songs that he did were covers, but he might have written a couple. He might have.
Yeah, but wasn't there like a sort of Ringo novelty song on most albums where he's like?
Yeah, they always had to have one for Ringo.
Yeah.
We were always going to have one for Bonehead.
Should have done it. I
Well, no, I think we tried to do it on both albums, and it turned out shit. So. Which I know is kind of the point, right? But it was like really shit.
Really? Was he singing? He was obviously singing.
It was and I kid you fucking not, maybe the most appalling singer I've ever heard in my entire life.
Really? It's hard.
Appalling.
Well, I always think with your singing,
no sense of anything.
But you're like with Liam as well. Like Liam's from the beginning of Oasis a very good singer. Like he's always in tune. He's always got good mic control and all that stuff. It's just like naturally there. Was he shit at first, or was he always good?
As the songs got better, he got better. If you know what I mean.
But did he ever have a singing lesson? Was he ever taught to use his instrument?
No. There's a thing on YouTube. It's called Oasis: The Early Years, which is all our early fucking demos before any of the songs, and definitely maybe. And Liam's singing is when I started writing the songs. I was writing songs and then quickly sussed out that the entire key structure was too low for Liam. Right. So when you hear the early stuff, the songs are not very good and he's not very good. And but as I'm starting to write better songs for him, it kind of,
wow.
We all got better at the same time. So
when you were like kids, was he singing along to the radio and you thought, oh, he's got a good voice?
No,
really?
Not at all.
That's mental.
No.
Yeah.
First time I ever heard him sing was on stage in the fucking Boardwalk.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, he sounds like Ian Brown. But then the songs lent themselves to that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they asked me to join, and I'll take it from here. Thank you very much.
Bob's your uncle. Right, here's another question here. This is someone who seems to ask a question and then undermine it with something offensive.
Let's hear the offensive thing.
Ask Noel what he thinks of the Liam and Mark Lanigan feud, and ask him if he ever got rimmed.
Rimmed?
Oh, God. He's never seen the Goonies and he's never had his arsehole licked. What a life. No wonder he's slapping his knob on fucking furniture.
And I tell you, it wasn't for the want of trying. The Mark Lanigan, this is the guy from Screaming Trees, right?
Yeah. Oh, also, I owe you an apology because
really?
You said that Josh Homme, whatever you fucking say his name, was in Screaming Trees. And I went, I don't think so. I think I'm fine. And somebody corrected me and said, no, he was on that tour. He played bass or something for him. Yeah,
no, he was definitely in him. I didn't want to argue it out with you over the radio.
And then Mark Lanigan was in Queens of the Stone Age, which I didn't know. Because I used to like... There was a Screaming Trees song called Dollar Bill. Are you aware of that?
No.
Torn like an old dollar bill. It was nice.
Well, to answer the lad's, assuming it's a lad, his question, I know what happened, but as this thing took hold over a few gigs.
Hang on, are you talking about rimming or?
Yes,
I know what happened, but I didn't.
Think I was talking about.
Over a few gigs, we built up the confidence, and then Bonehead took the plunge.
By the fourth gig, we were doing it on stage. No, so I knew that words had been crossed between these two singers, right? So oh fucking hell, I think Liam and the guy from I never had. Every time I seen him, he was all right. You know what I mean? So I never sensed or seen any shit going on, but I heard there was stuff going on, and then I was just too fucking wasted to give a shit.
Does it ever, when you're on tour with another band, because it's all mouth, isn't it, really? There's no one who's actually, fucking properly hard and mental and, actually...
No, it's usually singers who are the dicks.
Yeah, but when it's does it, have you ever seen it properly kick off, or is it always just
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen... Yeah.
But properly, not just hold me back, manager.
Oh, no, I've seen it. No, Primal Scream, when I first met Primal Scream, they were always fucking fighting. Everybody around Primal Scream was fighting.
Really?
Yeah. I was with them one night in MTV in Camden, and I ended up playing drums for them because fucking drummer was on heroin. He'd swallowed a load of heroin. And I ended up playing drums for them, and then there was a massive fucking fight, like shit got damaged in MTV, and I was in Oasis at this point. I'd just gone down to fucking hang out and I ended up playing drums, and police are called and everything, loads of damage. It was fucking crazy. But there's always fights in bands. But you mean inter-band fights between? Yeah,
when they go,
Yeah, it's.
There's teams of people keeping them apart.
There can be. They're not. Do you know when there's tension is usually if it's like a big one-off gig that's got 8 bands on the bill, right? Or a festival.
Yeah.
Because chances are you've slagged one of these fuckers off, you know what I mean? Or someone's said something about you and you're just like, oh, those cunts, right? You know what I mean? When you're on tour, you usually pick a band you get on with or you like. Even if you've not met them, you like them.
Yeah.
So there's an incentive to get on with them. But in America, it's different, you see, because you don't know anybody. There's this kind of backhanded where bands will buy onto a tour, or we'll give you 50 grand if we can tour with you. You know what I mean? So like managers or like record companies do it. They sell the space on the tour, and I'd never heard of the Screaming Trees and whoever else was on that fucking tour. They were just guys, but they were all right though.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting to me.
Yeah, but if you're on festivals, yeah. I mean, I'm always running into people I've called a cunt.
Isn't it who's hard actually can fucking handle themselves? Because I heard Kelly from the Stereophonics is quite hard, even though he's very small.
Really?
But I heard that.
I've never seen any evidence of that.
The Who were in their day. They were all brawlers, I think.
Yeah, well, I wasn't at Woodstock, so I wouldn't know, would I?
Well, you could have been there. You'd have fucked your ideas up at 7.
I don't think anybody's particularly hard who I've met.
Rod Stewart.
No, I wouldn't be wary. There's a few Larry fuckers. A few, people who were just he's been a fucking knob. But I don't think anybody's particularly hard.
I'm fascinated by people who are hard, because you remember when you're growing up and there's those people who are, there's 2 types of hard. There's sort of someone who's done boxing, and but then they're quite chilled out because they know I'm fucking hard, but I can handle myself. I know how to fight. And then there's just people who violence to them is, like normally to actually start fighting, it's like, oh God, I don't want to have a fight. Oh no, I'm having a fight. But
it's a lot of hassle having a fight.
And no one feels good. If you win the fight, you feel shit afterwards. If you lose the fight, you feel shit afterwards. It's not a good thing to do. But there's some people, some of my mates growing up, who violence to them, I think maybe, like not to get too dark, but there was violence at home and stuff. So violence to them isn't this big scary roller coaster ride of adrenaline. It's just, oh, that thing's happening again where I have to punch someone in the face. But like
that thing's happening again where I have to rim somebody.
Rim them into submission. But like there's no gear change. It's just like, well, I'm walking down the street, I'm talking to my mate, I'm punching this geezer in the face. It's just like, it fascinates me a bit because I'm not like that at all.
Well, usually the rule is the guys with the biggest mouths usually have the fucking, the smallest dicks, shall we say?
Yeah.
So.
But you don't fight with your dick. I mean, I don't know what your special move is. He's off. Here it goes. Crikey.
I'm refreshed now, Major.
Right. Rimming.
Yeah, I don't.
Ever been rimmed?
I mean, almost certainly.
Cool, everyone has. I'm not even going to grill you on that.
Oh, almost certainly.
Ever been grilled? That's something else. Also, the same person who's got the same special illness where he says something normal and then something abnormal, says, ask him also, what's with the Chinese women sitting around the table with him and Liam in Supersonic documentary? And then, whores?
The Chinese women.
You're sitting around. It says Supersonic documentary. You're sitting around a table with some Chinese women with Liam, and then he's asking. Well, he just says, "Are they prostitutes?"
Yeah, because we'd film that and put it in a fucking film, wouldn't we?
Also,
prostitutes.
Rock stars on tour aren't paying for sex, are they?
I've been paid for sex.
I know it. I fucking best $14.99 I ever spent.
Well, for a start, they would have been Japanese, and as we've never been to China,
racist person.
And they would have been our record company, our lovely, lovely, lovely fucking record label.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
And you fucked all of them, so that's.
I rimmed every single one of them. As they sang "Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence."
Oh dear. Well, that's an old question. Well, I mean, you were so shit at being a detective, the wheels fell off that. To be frank.
Yeah, but I'm not. I don't particularly like games like that. I don't like. Do you like playing games at fucking Christmas and all that shit?
No, I don't actually. I don't.
Oh, I hate it.
When
fucking board games, fuck off. See you later, mate.
I can get into Monopoly if it's like you're all bloated from dinner and booze.
No.
But I can.
Go
on.
No, there's a delay on this. There's a fucking delay on this, which
is annoying. It's your mind.
Right. Okay. Whatever. I will play Connect 4 with any child, right? Any child under the age of 14. Other than that, I'm not getting involved.
Yeah, no, Connect 4 is a nice, quick battle, but like, I don't like games.
It's fucking great. I like Connect 4.
What I don't like about I got into Scrabble on my phone.
No, it's for dicks.
No, Scrabble.
Monopoly's shit. Scrabble's shit. Connect 4's good. Because it's for money. It's good for money, not just like for a fucking.
Who plays fucking Connect 4 for money against children?
We do. We have that on tour. We had that on tour for years.
Connect 4.
When you come in my dressing room, I'm surprised you've never seen it. There's always one there. Always.
Is there?
Do Do you know Oasis had our own Connect 4 with us on the box?
No, this is insane.
Right, Google that. Right. So what happened is, so me, Mark Coyle, and Phil Smith, Miles, we've been playing that since the late '80s in Manchester, right? So you've been for £1, or we'd be fucking tripping or stoned or whatever, and around at Mark Coyle's house, and we'd all go in for like £1 each, Connect 4, and we just took that through to being fucking in Oasis. And anyway, they seen us playing it in some fucking film, right, where I was winning loads of money. Like we used to win. I was up nearly £1,000 on one tour, and so Connect 4 did us a special edition with us on the cover of the box.
That's amazing. I never heard of any of this.
I'm going to get you one. I've got some here actually.
Fucking send me one. I'll put that straight on eBay. No, but seriously, I will. But like Connect 4, isn't that's one of those games that once it's like when you play noughts and crosses, you can, or tic-tac-toe, you can quite quickly go, if I always put my first one there, like, isn't Connect 4 too simple to...
Well, that's why I only play with toddlers and young children.
Yeah, but on tour, you must have. I mean, unless find me a toddler, I must play Connect 4. Where's my pot noodle? Fucking rock and roll's dead, isn't it?
Get me that young boy to bring me my pot noodle while I destroy him at Connect 4.
Yes, the cross-eyed boy over there, licking his hands. He looks like a worthy opponent of my Connect 4 skills. I want beef and tomato.
So we didn't bring Connect 4 on tour. We only brought what's it called? Not Connect 4. What
Guess
the fuck
Who?
is it called?
How about you playing Guess Who? They fucking rock
listen,
them
no,
up.
what?
Oh yeah, then Liam fucking punched me in the face, and then the truth of it is, we're sitting on the bus going, has she got glasses? Has she got blonde hair?
Listen to me, you dick. I meant frustration, not Connect 4. Frustration.
What? All along you've been saying frustration?
Yes.
You
think the game Frustration with the Pop-O-Matic thing in the middle.
What's that? The fucking the bloke who you've got to pull his bones out?
No, that's Operation.
What's Frustration?
Frustration is there's a glass dome in the middle of a thing, and a dice, and you pop it, and if you get 1 to 6, you've got to move your 4 pieces 1 lap around the board and get them all back in order in the lane where you started, and you can, but your opponent can take your pieces like at drafts, I suppose. If he jumps over you, you've got to go back to the beginning.
So hang on. Wait, go back. So there's no Connect 4, the thing where you drop the discs in to make 4 in a row?
No. I'll play that at Christmas against a child.
Okay, so the Oasis box
the box was a Frustration. We used to play that in the 80s in Mark Coyle's house, all on drugs.
Right.
And then Phil Smith always had one, so we had it on tour, and then we were filmed playing it in Japan on tour.
Right.
I'd made loads of money. They filmed me. It's an amazing sequence. Every time you get a 6, you go again, right?
Yeah.
And I was last in the game, and I got 4 6s and a 3 in a row to win the entire game, and I won about 600 quid that night. But I was up about £1,000 at one point on the tour, and then Frustration got in touch, and they did us a box with with our own box with Oasis on the front. It was our own branded fucking thing, and it's still on tour, still in my dressing room.
That is mental. But firstly, that you completely forgot the name of the fucking game for about half an hour.
Frustration when the band split. I took the Frustration. Said you can have Andy. You can have Andy Bell. You can have him. Give me the Frustration, you bastard.
Did Liam ever play Frustration?
No. I know he did. Yeah, he did. It would always end in violence, though. Like there was a conspiracy. He would always accuse me that that I'd somehow, before the game had started, I'd unscrewed the glass dome and and accused me of putting grease on the dice.
What?
Yeah,
I remember those Pop-O-Matic dice things.
Yeah.
You can't fuck with that.
But the thing about the game is, right, it's a complete game of random. It requires no skill. It doesn't matter. It's like you pop it, you don't know what number's coming. So it's random, right? It's in the lap of the gods. And I was winning far too much for him to handle. So he accused me of fucking cheating, like fucking rigging the game. I was like, what? What a fucking rig a game of frustration.
Some people are just lucky. My nan used to win meat raffles like consistently to the point where she could feed her and her husband, my granddad, with meat because she won. She was just lucky with raffles. She would win, right?
She was lucky with meat.
She was lucky with meat. I've always said that about that woman. But me, once, I fucking remember this so clearly. I hope my mate does, my mate Rick. There was this time where, you know when you're in the zone, you're playing darts, right? And you're just right. you need like 1 or 2 drinks and then you get in the zone and then you're fucking good at darts, and then 1 more drink and suddenly you're shit at darts. And that works with pool, snooker, bowling. There's like
rimming.
You can always get it in the hole, but then 4 drinks later
it's in the wrong hole.
You're in the small of the back. You're miles from the goal. No, once I remember this so clearly. I don't know why we did this. We were just playing a game. He was flipping a coin and saying heads or tails, and I guessed, I think 11 or 12 in a row correctly. And the way I did it was I used psychic powers. I sort of went, I just knew what it was. He'd done it, and it honestly it was I wish that was filmed in a documentary.
But there's no skill in that either. Right, so it's just random when you call heads or tails.
It felt like I was in the. I felt like when I was saying which one it was, I knew, and then he'd say "fucking hell," and we were going. He was going mental. Bollocks. He was going, "Oh my god!" And he wasn't winding me up because, well, maybe
that's
he was.
Bollocks. That's bollocks, mate. You've not done that 12 times in a row. There's no fucking way.
I did. Honestly, it was legendary for a while.
You think you've done it 12? I reckon you've done it maybe 4.
Right, so accounting for alcohol and other things, possibly.
Yeah, you've done it 4 times in a row. You've not done it 12.
No, it was 4. 4's nothing. 4, 50%. That's nothing. It was strange. It was a strange evening where I was in the zone. I believe once you're in that zone, anything's possible.
Are you in that zone now?
I think I'm getting there. I might have to stop drinking.
Oh, we made the newspapers today.
No, not again. What have they?
Yeah, there's a story about me on your podcast saying I've been drinking straight for 9 weeks. It's like the headline is, and it doesn't say it just says the Oasis rock star told his friend Matt Morgan, "Oh fucking hell, I've been drinking for 9 weeks. It's got to stop."
that when I read that stuff, it's terrifying that they. Well, it shows you actually that either the journalists who do that stuff, which is like, I don't know, it's like the Mirror, the Sun, like tabloidy stuff, innit? They don't really report. They sort of take a bit out of context, and then it's just weird the way they do it, because they don't say, and they were joking and laugh. They take all the sort of nuance out of it, and they just.
They're making a story out. They're making a story out of it.
Yeah, but it's so weird, because they must know this is bollocks, because I listened to the whole thing and they were laughing and talked about 200 things, and I'm just going to make a story out of nothing, which is like Noel Gallagher pot noodle nightmare. Noel Gallagher not Connect 4 frustration. You know, it would always end in violence. Sobbed Gallagher. It's like fucking hell.
Well, I did a thing on the radio one night, right? Not on Russell's radio show, it's something else. And I'd said that I'd taken. Someone said, "Oh, what have you been up to?" And I said I'd taken my cat to see a pet psychic because he was acting weird. And I
remember this.
They'd hypnotise him, and turned out my cat thought he was Alfred Hitchcock. Right, and I said it with like a straight kind of fucking tone in my voice, and said, "Yeah, it's funny. he was like charging around the garden. I'm sure he was shouting action. Do you know? And it fucking ended up in the Daily Mirror.
It's mental.
Like on page 4.
It's mental.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Well, they've fucking got to fill newspapers, haven't they? I don't mind shit like that when it's just like fucking nonsense, but sometimes they do make stuff up and it can be quite, oh, hang on a minute, that's not how it went down at all. Do you know what I mean?
The thing that I find not really annoying, but I just think like they don't say it was on this podcast and like that would help this podcast out. Just go, oh, Noel Gallagher. They go, Noel Gallagher told us, or like said to a friend, or something like that, and it's just like, fucking hell. How much of this stuff we read every day is just absolute bollocks taken from out of context?
50% of it. 50% of everything that's in the newspapers is nonsense.
Yeah.
There's like, you don't really. I find myself. I read the sports pages, but even then, I find myself, I read the headlines and that's it. You don't need to know the fucking story. Do you know what I mean? Because the story's bollocks. Right? Yeah. So basically, you can flick through an entire newspaper and it'll say, if you can make up any fucking thing, just think, well, I don't need to read that story. Chancellor says Boris fucking takes up the art. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't need to read or whatever. It's just like a fucking nonsense. So I don't really read the details of anything. There's fighting in London. The fucking far right and the far left, and fucking. That's it. You don't need to know anymore. You know what I mean? It's just like fucking. Oh dear. But yeah, so I don't really. So they can literally fucking make the rest of the story up for all I. Well, they do.
It's bizarre though, because they're not like held to account, and they're not. No one sort of goes, "Hang on, I listened to that podcast, and that wasn't really what they said," and it was. It's like this weird other world of like.
I've been asked this question probably more times than any other question in the course of my life, right?
Yeah.
And the precursor of this question will be me on the phone with someone saying, they can't fucking write that. How can they fucking write that, man? But I'm fucking right. We're going to do something about this. The question they ask is, do you really want to fucking spend all that time and effort getting a fucking retraction for that? When it'll take months, fucking years, you know what I mean? And then page 72 will be an apology and you've spent fucking $100,000 doing it. And then you always go, actually, no, fuck it. Don't give a fuck.
So that's what they operate on, really?
Yeah, that they operate on the fact that actually you won't fucking sue them because you can't be asked. Or, you take them to court and it fucking costs you a shitload of money just to get a sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
We need to talk about Prince Charles' fingers.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, let's go on to the extra bit from Patreon of me trying to fucking milk a living out of this bloody life. Thank you, Noel, for coming on the podcast.
Whatever, mate. Anything I can do to help.
You're a good man. I love you. Now, anyone who wants to hear a little bit about Prince Charles' fingers, hop on over to my Patreon, where we'll discuss it immediately. There'll be not even a pause as we go straight into it now.